what we see Google Editions as is just completing the circle. So not just helping people find your content and preview it, but also instantly purchase access to it and read it wherever they are. And so we'll speak to that. So the partner program is the existing search and discover and preview portion of Google Books, and Google Editions will represent the purchasing and reading portions of this. So let's start with search and discover. How many books are there in the world? I don't know if any of you noticed this, but we actually published a pretty clever blog post perhaps a month back detailing just how we came up with this number, 129,880 books. And we get over 4 billion metadata records from all over the world representing this number of books as best we can determine through clustering, but a huge number of books. And a lot of those come in through the partner program. So over 2 million books come from our publisher partners, 35,000 publisher partners, in over 75 domains, over 100 countries around the world. A lot of books. And these are the books that people are looking for. So these represent the in-print books. When people are thinking, I want to read a book, generally they're thinking about one of these 2 million books that we're speaking about. And so somebody goes to google.com and they search for, in this example, accidental capitalists. And what Google will return to them is a set of search results. And you may have noticed we recently launched some new search tools that show up on the left-hand side of the page. So if your search contained a good amount of books content, then we'll show a books link there, also images, video, and other. And you can see that the second link here is actually the book The Big Short, which is a good match for this content. So that's the search side, how people find this content. Once they've found it, they may want to determine whether this is a book for them. And this is where we enable preview across our partners, so helping book buyers discover these titles. So the first is web search, but preview also enables people such as retailers, bloggers, social networks, and publisher websites to embed the ability to read the book wherever the user is and wherever they have discovered that content. So opening up the number of people who can access your content wherever they are. And these are some samples of our reseller partners. We have over 70 reseller partnerships around the world, a very international selection of people who are using the Google Books Preview program to help people find and buy your books. And this is some examples. So the Google Preview buttons show up. When users click on those, they get immediate access to the content. And on the Google website, when a user finds accidental capitalist, this is what they see, which is the preview experience. So the book itself, either the PDF or the scan page, and we show the book information, buy the book links to help them find and buy a print version of this content, and then publisher branding. We added a couple new features over the past year, smaller features, but they add up and please users quite a bit. One is highlighting authors, so about the author information. This is a commonly requested feature from our publisher partners, and we're trying to add more of these in. So when the metadata supports this, or publishers provide it, we can show about the author information. And we're actually planning to do a lot more along these lines, so enabling publishers to give us links to videos and websites and others, so we can construct better about the book pages. So that really spoke to the partner program, which I think you're probably all quite familiar with. Let's talk about how purchase will work once Google Editions comes into existence. So Google Editions is part of Google Books. And this diagram shows that Google Books is going after that audacious goal of having 130 million books indexed for the world. Currently, we have over 15 million books scanned through our library program, including the 2 million that we get directly from publishers. So that's the partner program. And will launch with over 400,000 paid titles available for sale from publisher partners. And that's in addition to the over 2 million public domain free titles that we have available as well through our library program. So let's talk about where the customers are. As we thought about what would a Google Editions, a Google ebook experience look like, we thought, where are the users? So there's a lot of press articles written about e-ink devices. You know, those are fun. Devices are fun. And there are 8 million of those, and that's fantastic. These are early adopters, people who really love reading, and I think the data really bears out that these 8 million readers really love ebooks. There are 100 million iPhones and iPod Touches, very rough numbers. You know, these change monthly. Big number, that's the point. Over 250 million other smartphones. And this is something that Google obviously pays a lot of attention to, and we're very involved with. So, you know, Android is, I believe, selling over 200,000 units a day, and, you know, will be huge distribution as this year continues. 50 million netbooks, over 120 million notebooks, and these are annual sales, so many more installed in the market. And something that we've really paid attention to, given that we already have a large number of book readers coming to Google because of Google Books, is a lot of people actually do read on their notebooks, on their laptops, on their desktops. And 5 million iPads sold. I think we're all pretty clear that this is just the tip of an iceberg of, you know, vast consumer demand for this new kind of device. And you can imagine that many future devices along these lines will be coming out. And so if you look at, you know, the customers across this breadth of reading platforms, you really need to have an ebook solution that delivers everywhere. And it can't just deliver to portions of this, or else you're going to frustrate your users, your readers, the people who buy your books. And so this is your market. There are 1.8 billion global internet users. People do read on their laptops. They will read all around the world. And we want to help our publisher partners reach all of these. And Google, as you know, has a vast international presence. And when we think about what an ebook solution looks like, we truly think globally. And we're excited for that. We also think about the progress of technology. And this goes back to that kind of early adopter device concept, which is hardware becomes software, and software moves into the cloud. So the Rolodex became a Palm Pilot, became just one piece of software on your iPhone or Android. And similarly, snapshots became, you know, photos that you manage on your hard drive became photos in the cloud at Picasa or Flickr or Facebook. And so in today's ebook market, we've seen this happen where the first ebook solutions were kind of device-based, single-purpose, and there were a couple different versions of them. And, you know, Amazon and Apple jump to mind, Kobo, Barnes & Noble, the list goes on. There are many different ebook providers, and they all started with that kind of device-dedicated solution and are moving into the more broad, trying to become a piece of software behind these ebooks. So where we see ebooks going with Google Editions is that any reseller should be able to sell ebooks that work on any device. Today, when you buy a print book, when you walk into a Borders in the US and buy a book, they don't ask you for your Barnes & Noble card, they just sell you a print book. And we think that when users move to reading ebooks, they shouldn't be locked into any particular seller or device because they've chosen to read ebooks instead of print books. So any retailer should be able to sell to any reader. So what's going on with the ebook market? Well, good news for me, it seems to be going up and to the right, and I'm sure because of this we're all paying attention. I mean, quick stats, IDPF, over 400 million in sales in 2010, a doubling 2009. So 1.5% of US book sales projected to be 5%, you know, this year, and that's fantastic. It's definitely taking off, and I think that the device slide earlier really speaks to that. More users, more readers have great devices that they want to read on. By the end of 2010, perhaps 10% of book sales will be in ebooks. So what will drive these sales? Well, we really think